You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I want to talk about the new acquisition, not really a purchase. Technically, we didn't buy it, we traded for it. So we got here this 1994 F-250, nice rusted, faded green looking color. So let's just get straight into it and talk about the entertaining bit of trading this. So maybe this is just me, not really sure, but I'm going to give you my gripes about the trade. I'm still happy that we did it because this is far better than the old minivan. Let's talk about how it went when I traded it. So we drove all the way down to Kentucky to get this truck. I trailered the van, took a day off of work to schedule it with the guy. The pictures looked real good, had a nice set of wheels on it. In the texting, the guy says, hey, by the way, it doesn't come on those wheels. And I said, that's fine. What's it come on? Well, I got a set of stockers, but they don't fit because they're Chevy bolt pattern or Chevy hub spacing, and this is Ford. And I was like, okay, well, I have a set of wheels. I already took the day off work. We're going to make it work. So I knew going down I wasn't getting wheels and tires with the truck, so I took my wheels and tires. We get down there. We look the thing over. It's still better than a minivan, so I'm going for it. We get to looking at it. It looks good. I'm happy with it. We get it loaded on the trailer. We get my wheels bolted to it. Oh, I only got 8 lug nuts. I got 2 lug nuts per wheel. That's all I got. It was 8 lug nuts. So that kind of sucked. But we got the wheels bolted on. We get it loaded on the trailer, and the guy says to me, well, the battery's actually my girlfriend's, and she'll kill me if I leave it with you. And so I was like, whatever, take the battery. I don't care. Batteries aren't that expensive. I'll put a battery in. That's fine. So we got her all loaded on there, and his buddy says, oh, hey, the hitch is stuck in there. We need to take that hitch. And I was just kind of like, well, shoot, at this rate, do you just want me to take it back off the trailer and I get nothing out of this trade? I mean, come on, man. And we got the hitch because she's rusted in there. But I was just a little bit perturbed at the fact that I gave them a nice van. Oh, I killed it. It wasn't, I didn't care for it, and I get that when trading a van for a truck, you're never going to be quite even, right? Because who wants to trade a minivan for a pickup truck? Well, who wants to trade a pickup truck for a minivan? Vice versa. Either way. I wanted to get rid of the van. He wanted to get rid of the truck. It's all good. We got the truck now. I'm happy with the truck. So let's talk about the truck a little bit. So she's rusty. She runs good. Oil pressure gauge, it's not there. And I remember sitting in the truck, and I asked the guy, I said, well, does that gauge matter? And I said, I'm assuming the gauge is just bad, not that it has no oil pressure. And he goes, well, it runs real good, and it does run good, so I just decided to leave it alone and not worry about it. Our mirrors are not exactly on there real good. We got one screw through that side. We've got some patina and some dent in there, a little bit of rust there, but overall, I like it. So I've got 2 different styles of wheel here. That's a stock Chevy wheel, and that is an old turbine, I think is what they called them. My grandfather gave me those years and years ago. I believe they were originally on like a 70s F-250. Unfortunately, they don't fit the front caliper on these. I had to put 2-inch wheel spacers to get it to actually go over the caliper. And because that wheel is already hellaciously stanced, it stanced it out even more, and it looks good, but you can't turn. This is not that tall of a sitting, not that tall sitting of a truck. So I went with the Chevy wheels because it's what I had on hand. But truth be told, I really kind of like that patinaed chrome look. It looks good to me. It's strange. I know nobody else is going to care for it, but I like it, and I think I might continue to run that. We're going to get some different tires for it. These are worn out and have no traction, but they hold air, and I'm able to drive it around the property with the current setup. Skid steer tires in the rear because they're 16.5 wheels, and it's almost impossible to find a nice set of 16.5 tires that isn't, you know, worth its weight in gold. Skid steer tires worked pretty good though. The guys that installed that cussed me pretty good because they're very, very stiff sidewalls. In fact, I don't know that those have any air pressure in them. This is just how stiff the sidewalls are. So we'll take a look inside the truck. No door panel. I have the door panel, but it had to come off because the door handle on the inside was broken. And so I rigged it up, and I actually don't mind that, other than I have caught my leg on that a couple of times and it was painful. We've got, you know, power lumbar seats. It's a whole bench that slides. We've got, you know, it's a good spot to spit your dip, you know. I call it a feature. I don't think it's an issue, it's a feature. We even have electric windows. Not that they work all that great, but at some point we might get around to fixing that. Oh yeah, check this out when you go to close the door. Oh, cool, right? So you got to do the whole old school, pull our window back up. Wouldn't want to get any rain in there. I have yet to figure out how to get the tailgate open. I don't know. Our hitch that we got, like I said, he really wanted that hitch, and I'm glad that we still got it. I think we lucked out there. I was gonna swap these rear tires out. They're still the skid steer tires, but then I thought maybe we'd like an A to B test. So we're gonna run it around on those and get a lap time. Swap them out real quick to the front tires, so it's a matching set, and we'll do another lap time. I suspect I'm slower with these. Those are skid steer tires. They're rated for like 5 mile an hour max, and we're gonna put it way faster than that. So let's get to it. We had some issues here. My plan was to run these Chevy wheels, GM wheels, whatever you want to call them, on the back end, but the hub here, this is too big to go through that bore, and up front it's a different size. The hub doesn't come out quite so far, and so the spacer was able to go on and convert for all of this, but unfortunately on the rear we weren't able to do that. So we're going to take these off. Got a different idea. We tried doubling them up, but that didn't do us any good either. Still not long enough. Don't have a concrete floor to throw that at. Just dumb. Running wheel spacers is such a terrible idea generally. I do it all the time though, because I'm not very smart. So when I said it's dumb, I'm referring to me, not anything else. Look at that. Yeah, brilliant. Jeez. Might get a close-up on that maybe. Yep, managed to just absolutely smoke that stud. But there's several others broke on here. That's bad. These were all broke off when I got the stupid thing, so I'm guessing that this is not the first time some idiot's worked on the truck. But now there's another idiot working on the truck. Just what it is. But yeah, so these didn't fit. I'm going to do the axle swap on this truck anyways, just trying to get it to where I can drive it down the road, because again, when I got the truck, it didn't come with any wheels at all. So I had to put my wheels on it. Big skid steer wheels, useless and stupid. So what we're going to do is I got these, which is what I initially ordered, tried to order. So these are 8x6.5 to 8x6.5. They're just spacers. What I thought I had ordered but didn't was adapters. So what we did this time was I actually got adapters so that I can run 8x170 wheels on this truck already, which I have tons of sets of those because I got multiple Super Duties. So we're going to put Super Duty wheels on these, and then eventually we'll axle swap it, and the axle swap will be from Super Duty axles. So then the wheels will just bolt direct to the hub like normal. So that's what we're going to do. Purdy. So it's not a proper rule of thumb, but it will be my rule of thumb. Typically everything's overbuilt by double. So if it had 8 lug nuts, you really only need 4. I've got 3. It'll probably be sufficient for the shenanigans I'm going to pull with it. So this is the part where anybody that knows anything is going to freak out. I'm going to put coned lug nuts on what should have a flat face big washer like on a big truck. Done it before. It's not that big of a problem. This truck's never going to see any road miles with this setup. And if I do, I'll switch the lug nuts out. Or I won't, because, you know, I really don't think it matters. It's a steel wheel. Very likely that I'm not going to crack it. Get all my lug nuts started. No, I didn't put any ACs on the hub. No, I'm not worried about it getting stuck to the thing. That adapter will come right off with a hammer. Meanwhile, I just noticed this entire tire is covered with ants. That's cool. Looks like fire ants too. Yay. I really like getting bit by stuff. So one thing you can do, which is kind of a safety thing, is just reach in there and just confirm that the hub is in fact touching all of the wheel. It's not, because the studs are too long. And so it's actually bolted to the... Let me rephrase what I'm saying there. So I'm reaching my hand in there and I'm confirming that the wheel is seated on the adapter. It in fact is not seated on the adapter. I can fit an entire finger in there. What we are currently bolted to is the studs. It's pulled up against those studs from the original axle. I don't care, it's fine. All I need to do is move the truck today. We'll probably put it on the track and get a time lap, and if we're really, really lucky, I'll rip a tire off. It'll be cool. So I decided on this side, since I know the issues on the other side. Never mind, I haven't seen this, I've done it. I've cut the studs off to get them to not stick through the wheel adapter. Now this is a 2-inch spacer, whereas this here is a 1.5-inch adapter, okay? So this is shorter, which is why when I install it on there, see how the studs stick through? Sometimes if you've got nice wheels, they'll actually have indents so that you can put it over that. The steel wheels don't have that. So to continue my debauchery and my trend of doing, well, everything wrong, I'm going to stack spacers. You should never do this unless you need to. In that case, do it. Look at that. I've got 4 lug nuts, the perfect amount to put this on. Use a thin wall socket. Everything you're doing is wrong. Yeah, well. Okay, everything I'm doing is wrong. This is not good. I'm so confused. Okay, I have no idea what's going on now. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. All right, pause for technical difficulties. All of the rubbers that I took off like an idiot with the lug nut, because that was easier, with the socket, that was easier, are all shoved in the rubber, so that's why I'm not able to I'm losing the lug nut. That makes sense. Okay. I don't feel like such an idiot because I figured out the problem, even though I caused the problem. I'm going to fix the problem. I need Ethan here. This is too much Tech B. He wouldn't have made a mistake like that. Granted, he wouldn't have let me do what I'm doing. Ethan's a good mechanic. Just occurred to me that I have another issue. Oh, no, I don't. Major ant colony on that one. I am not a fan. Ooh, those are going to be mad and angry. Well, let's get this done. A whole lot of them. I think that worked. All right, let's go run this thing. Whoa, well, about that lap time with this thing. Lap time's not happening today. It refuses to go. So we're going to have to fix that later. But for today, we're going to cancel it out of the video. I promise you, though, we will run this thing on the track with these garbage wheel installs and get a confirmed lap time as it sits, as long as it's running. That's the best I can promise you, but it is a promise. So here she is. We'll probably take it for a little drive and do some other things to it. My current plan on this is it's got that independent front suspension from Ford with the bushings that wear out and the tires that wear uneven, just kind of all junky. The rear axle's got drum brakes and I'm allergic to drum brakes. So my plan is to get some Super Duty axles, and I've never done a Super Duty axle swap before. I want to try it and see how it goes. What I have researched says that you're supposed to be able just to take these axles off and bolt the new ones direct to the springs. I think I'm going to swap the springs as well because I'm wanting to get a little bit of a lift kit out of it. She's kind of papawed, kind of beat really, honestly. It's just a beat work truck, not even a papaw truck. I want to make it into, well, our name for this is the Swamp Monster. So I really want to put a set of 35-inch Super Swampers on it and just make a nice mean mud machine out of it. But I'd also like to be able to drive it around, get a little firewood with it, you know, redneck truck. So we will see how it goes. I'm going to utilize it as much as I can. Hopefully you guys like it. To me, this was a much better purchase. The minivan was okay, but this will be better. We'll do some testing with it. We'll do some modifications to it, maybe a road trip or two. It's an American truck, right? Would you guys agree that this is an American truck? I think it's an American truck, and that's why I got it. Looking forward to making some modifications. Hopefully you guys get to see that, stick around and watch it. But for today, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on Chasing Squirrels.